Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today we are doing my November reading wrap-up. If you're unfamiliar, I do a reading wrap-up every month, and November I didn't really have a theme. Like in October I tried to read more supernatural spooky books, but this month I kind of was just trying to reach my Goodreads reading goal. So there's a few smaller books in there and then just books that I have been putting off and wanting to read. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and let's just get into the 7 books that I read in the month of November. Also, let me just apologize really quick for the lighting because I genuinely don't know what's going on. The weather outside doesn't know if it wants to be sunny or not. My blinds don't want to block the sun. But to start off, the first book that I read in the month of November is Shatter Me. Book Talk has been telling me about this a lot. Book Talk loves the Shatter Me series, and it's YA, it's dystopian. I was like, this could really hit or it could suck. And so I picked up only the first one because, once again, if y'all are unfamiliar, I'm a broken record, but I just gotta keep repeating this. I'm kind of growing out of the YA phase of my life from the ones that I read as of late. So this was like, you know, but I give this 4 out of 5 stars. Shatter Me? She slayed. So this book is about a girl named Juliet. She's 17, I believe, and she is in a psych ward. She has these powers where her touch is fatal. So if she touches somebody, they die. I don't know the science behind that yet. You don't learn it in this book, but that's that. So her parents sent her away to the psych ward. They were like, we're done with you, whatever. This is in a dystopian future where the reestablishment, i.e. the evil government, has taken over, is like, you can't eat the animals because they're poison, the water's poison, the air's poison, blah, 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 blah. So these evil people are in charge. This is the beginning of Juliet's story. I, too, love Aaron Warner. Anyways, I thought this was great. Once again, I don't know if the writing is necessarily good or if it was like truly just a like 2014 dystopian girly in me where I was like, this is good. You know, like this is scratching a spot that I needed. Ignore that. But I noticed a lot of people on Goodreads were like, the quirky writing was weird. Like they didn't like it. The writing style is a little different because it's from a journal perspective. So there's parts that are like crossed out. But yeah, 4 to 5 stars. We'll be reading the whole series. Next we have The Coven. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. So let me just get into what this is about before I kind of gripe on it. In this world, there are witches and they all have elemental powers. And our main witch is a green witch. She has it in her blood. So, you know, nature, all that tomfoolery. But she also has in her blood the necromancing. So they're called black witches because it's like color. So green, blue, red, yellow, black. I don't even remember, y'all. Anyway, so she has both, but people only know her as a green witch. But she's on a mission this entire book to complete one of her dad's tasks, which was, see, I don't even remember because like, okay, so the little tag says, raised to be my father's weapon against the coven that took away his sister and his birthright. But yeah, so she ends up at this university to do that, and she starts getting nasty with one of the professors there, who is a vessel, i.e. her mortal enemy, aka a vampire. So yeah, the beginning of this book was fun. Like it was a fun little rush, little chase scene, vibes like that. Then we get to the school, and I don't know, I was less interested. I don't know, this might be some people's cup of tea. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It was honestly just meh. Like I was like, I don't think I'm gonna finish it, but it just took me so long because I was so uninterested until the end. Yeah, there were some drop-ins from some people I did not expect at the end of this book. So yeah, I will be reading the next one. I fear to inform you, I will be reading the next one, but this book was just, it was honestly just meh. The next book we have, as I said, I was trying to hit my Goodreads goal, so I was like, I'm gonna read all the shortest books that are on my want to read on Goodread. And the next book is right here in this box set, but this box set is so tight that I don't want to pull it out. But the next book I read was The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner. That is the only book in the Twilight saga that I had never read besides, what is it called with the green apple on the front? It's basically a gender swap of the first Twilight book. I haven't read that one either, but that's not a part of this box set. So anyways, I hadn't read this, so I was like, let's check it off. It's a short little novella, like let's just get this done. I realized that all the characters that were introduced into this book are kind of useless to the series, which duh, it's a side character story who you know for like 5 minutes in the book. But her story, Bree's story itself, was good. So if you're unfamiliar, Bree is the girl who, if you've seen the movies maybe, in a eclipse. She is the youngest one who gets turned into a vampire in Seattle. So you probably have seen her. You probably just didn't know her name or whatever, but that would be her. But obviously we all know how her fate went. So it was just kind of like, well, I know you're gonna die the whole time. That was kind of weird, you know, going into it knowing. But it was just meh. I don't know. Maybe I've just outgrown Stephenie Meyer's writing. I haven't read anything from her since Midnight Sun, whenever that came out. But 3 out of 5 stars for The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner. Next, we have another novella. After this, I did hit my reading goal of 75 books on Goodreads. I think I'm about to be at 80, maybe. So we're just kicking through. But next we have Destroy Me. Not Fracture Me, but Destroy Me. So in the Shatter Me series, there are, I think, 5 novellas. Destroy Me is 2.5. Fracture Me is 3.5. So I only read Destroy Me. I gave Destroy Me 4 out of 5 stars. I love Aaron. This is all Aaron Warner's perspective. My gripe, though, why this wasn't 5 stars was because so much of this was him reading Juliet's diary to us. And I just genuinely didn't care. I was like, Aaron Warner, please. I don't care about Juliet. Give me some more Aaron. But still 4 out of 5 stars. It was only, I think, 110 pages. So next in the series will be Unravel Me, and then I'll hop back and read Fracture Me, which is in Adam's perspective. I hate Adam so much, but luckily it's really short. So 4 out of 5 stars for Destroy Me. I need you guys to put on your listening ears. We're gonna take any book rec into consideration. I need it to be this one. This is Don't Let the Forest In. A, look at how gorgeous it is. Immediately yes. Let me just show you some illustrations within the book before I really start selling my point here. The author has illustrations of the monsters in there. 5 out of 5 stars. This is actually one of the favorite books I've ever read. So this book is a YA. Once again, this is why I can't judge YA. So I'm going to continue to read YA and complain about most of them, and then love the other ones. So this book is about Andrew and Thomas, our 2 lovebirds, and they are at a school. I think they're about 17 if I remember correctly. They are seniors at a boarding school. Andrew is from Australia. Thomas is from the US. They're in the US. Andrew is a story writer. He writes these kind of dark, you know, little fairy tales. And Thomas draws. One day, Thomas's parents go missing. He comes to school covered in blood. Obviously, that looks like a really bad situation. Andrew's like, something's weird. I don't know what's going on. He's not being truthful with me. And he notices that one night Thomas snuck out into the forest. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna follow him. Like, something is weird. He finds Thomas fighting this ginormous monster. And he's like, what? So they quickly realize that due to one reason or another, Andrew's stories and Thomas's are coming to life. But the problem is the closer Andrew and Thomas get, the stronger the monsters become. So the question is, does killing the maker stop the monsters from coming? This book was so good, and the pacing was so good, and like the bits of romance were great, and the monsters of course were sick. I love it. This was just very much so a psychological thriller in a way. If you don't like books that don't have a concrete ending and the ending is up to you, this is gonna make you want to lose your marbles. I literally finished the book and then just was like, and then I went back, read the last chapter again, and then just, I literally was like, I'm so confused. I'm gonna interpret this one way until, I don't know if the author ever comes out with how it's supposed to be interpreted. I'm not sure. But that book was so good. I actually read it in one sitting. And you're gonna see that as a trend for the next 2 books. I got lucky. I got lucky this month and read some really good books. I'm so sorry about this weird stripple lighting. My blinds hate me so much. But yeah, 5 out of 5 stars for Don't Let the Forest In. Please read it. Oh my god. Next, once again, I already hit my reading goal, but I was like, I'm gonna get all my smaller books out of the way anyways. Next we have Where's Molly, which, if you're unfamiliar, is a spin-off, but technically the 4th book in the Cat and Mouse duet series. Obviously, duet means 2, so this is a spin-off, but you kind of gotta read the other 2 before you read this. Duet series might not make sense, but it does in my head. Where's Molly is about Molly, which if you read the second Cat and Mouse book, i.e. Hunting Adeline, you know who Molly is. because you read Molly's diary. There's some past parts that are about her in Francesca's house, but nothing really too in detail. So it's very much so less traumatizing than Hunting Adeline. I give this book 4 out of 5 stars. This was actually the lightest of her books that I've read. This was kind of fun. It was kind of just a romance, to be quite frank, except for like the flashbacks to how she got into Francesca's house, and then there was like one chapter in Francesca's house. Other than that, this was kind of just, it was fun. Honestly, it was like a fun romance. And then the extended epilogue, My King is Back. So 4 out of 5 stars. I thought this was great. It was fun. It wasn't as traumatizing as, you know, her other books. It was great. Love it. 4 out of 5 stars. If you're on TikTok, you know this book. Look at this collector's edition as well. Stunning. I give this book 5 out of 5 stars. I read this in one sitting, in one day. Let me just start off with my review before I gripe about y'all on TikTok. I love this book. I love our main male character, Rowan. He actually has just raised the bar so high. I love getting new book boyfriends. He's like book husband though, to be quite frank with y'all. Love him so much. So this book, let me start off with what this book is about. This is about Salone and Rowan. They are both serial killers. She kills specifically bad people, so it's giving like Zaid from Haunting Adeline. I presume he does too. It's not really talked about, but that's kind of the vibe. At the very beginning, they meet because they were both going to go kill this one bad person. Then, you know, he's like, I want to stay in touch with you. Let's set up this competition where just you and I, you know, first one to off this bad person wins. And it honestly, here's my funny comment with this. This is so Hallmarky for what it is. I enjoyed that though, but like I was like, this is so cute as they're like offing people. Like, how can you do Hallmark serial killer? This book was just so fun, and it was such a good story, and the pacing was great, and there's like a little plot twist which I didn't expect pop off. Here's my little gripe. I saw so much about this on TikTok. You guys are probably familiar hearing about the ice cream scene from this book. So every possible combination is running through my mind of what the ice cream scene could mean. Every combination is happening, and I'm like, honestly, none of these are that bad in my head, but I'm like, TikTok is freaking out about it. Like, they're like, I literally haven't eaten ice cream since here, like cookies and cream ice cream. Get to the part, and I'm like, you're serious? That's it? So much so that I was like, okay, it's gonna come up again later in the book. Like, that was just a joke. That was like in a horror movie where it's a jump scare, but it's just a family member. And then later on in the movie, like the actual ghost or whatever pops out. That's what I was expecting that to be. I just had to put that out there. Y'all amped that up, and it was not that bad. I mean, I did start reading dark romances on the HD Carlton level for my first one, so maybe I'm just like traumatized. I don't know. But 5 out of 5 stars. That book was so fun. It was such a good ride. The plot twist ending sets up for the second book so well. I'm so excited. And for the final book in the month of November, we have One Dark Window. This duet is a very interesting concept. 4 out of 5 stars. So let me just explain before I gripe a little. This book is in a world where there is a spirit that lives within a forest who is just angry. Do we really know why? So they created a mist, and this mist makes people go crazy. It gives them magic. You can become infected. Now, the infected are not allowed to be alive. They must be killed. Our main character, Miss Elspeth, is infected. Why the heck not? Also, there are these cards that the closest thing I can compare them to are tarot cards. These tarot cards have magic. If you collect all the cards, you can cure the forest and the surrounding area of the mist that is infecting people and giving them magic. The problem with the magic is, though, it eventually will make you crazy. Same with using the cards. So all magic comes at a price. So when Elspeth was very little, she touched one of the cards that her uncle had, and this card was the Nightmare card. So this thing lives in her now. He's just called the Nightmare. I think I kind of have a crush on the Nightmare, to be honest with you. He's on my hear me out cake. So this story is about her meeting up with our main male character, Raven, and his mission is to collect all the cards to cure one of his family members who is sick with the disease and is on the brink of going insane. And so Elspeth and him are working together to get the cards while she's fighting against this thing that lives within her, where every time she asks for its help, it gets stronger and proceeds to take over her body more and more, because once again, again, all magic comes at a price. That was probably the worst explanation I've actually ever given on a book as well. The world building in this confused me so much. I wasn't following along. I was very confused regarding the cards and the powers each card held. I was very confused for a very, very long time until it started clicking, and that was towards the end of the book. And so I was like verging 3 stars. I was like, the end of the book hit. My boy, the nightmare hit. And then I was like, this will be great in the second book because I will have fully understand the world, hopefully. By then, I will understand what's going on because I was prepped with the first book. And now the second book is about to slay. I like the magic and whatnot in this book. I think it just needed to be explained better. And like I said, the world building, it just needed some editing, I fear, to just help us out a little more as the reader, but still 4 out of 5 stars. And yeah, that is all the books that I read in the month of November. I don't really have plans for December. I know December is kind of, a lot of people say it's a high fantasy month, and I do have a lot of high fantasies on my shelf. But to be quite honest with you, there's this book going around on TikTok called Lights Out that is really grabbed my attention, so I think that might be next. And I got like 5 chapters into Babel. I'm gonna give that one some time to simmer, and then I'm also like halfway through, what's it even called, Court of the Vampire Queen, letting that one simmer too. So we shall see where December takes us. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I will see you guys all at the end of next month for my December reading wrap up. Also be on the lookout for my tier rank listing of all the books that I read in the year of 2024. Thank you all so much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye everyone.